Bright sunshine and still cold on Thursday. Good Wednesday night, East Tennessee. David Aldrich, Captain Accurate here from the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Well, we saw a low of 23 this morning. Some of you started in the upper teens like Crossville, but we had these clouds. These clouds just kept on producing some stray flakes or even persistent flurries. We saw a high of only 29 in Knoxville. Looks like we managed a high of 30 in Oak Ridge and Maryville. So it was a cold day. It was not as high as I thought we would get. I thought we'd get at least into the low to mid 30s. Many of us did not get out of the 20s. Now 29 the high, 48 the normal high. So do the math. We were 19 degrees below normal. That's pretty cold. The record high 72 and the record low -1 from 1970. We did receive a trace of snow at the airport. 34 was the high in Chattanooga, 34 the high in Nashville, but there was no 34-degree high in Knoxville. That may have been a swing and a miss. Granted. But temperatures as of 8 o'clock, 26. We've cooled 3 degrees, and with the wind that we have as of 8 o'clock, we have a wind that's, 10 miles an hour? No, it's 7. It's dropped to 7 miles an hour, so it actually feels like it's 18 now. So if you have to pump gas, if you have to fill up your tank, you know it feels cold. It feels like 11 in Crossville. And dear friends in Fentress County, my goodness, you feel like 8 at, say, 8 o'clock at night Eastern time. Pretty amazing. Cold air mass is overhead. And you can see the snowflakes, the persistent flakes that have not gone away, not yet. But with clearing skies, and if you look closely, right around Nashville, Cookeville, those clouds are beginning to retreat, and they'll be clearing out overnight tonight. So without the clouds, we should cool pretty rapidly tonight. That's just the way it goes. But those flakes have amounted to a little bit of a dusting or more on some vehicles, no doubt. And where we see some blue, it is actually snowing. And those particles, those flurries, I should say, are so small and minute. They're so small, the reflectivity isn't always picked up with clarity on the radar. The Ultimate Doppler Radar presented by your local Marco's Pizza. Great idea if you want to grab some dinner plans. Maybe you haven't had a chance to eat. The Winter Storm Watch, which we're going to review here in a moment, is in effect for Friday into Saturday. By the way, Marcos.com, a place to go if you are looking for some delivery. Go to Hardin Valley or Farragut. Maybe you're in Maryville or Fountain City. They have locations in Halls, Oak Ridge, and Middlebrook Pike and Ebenezer Road. They give back to East Tennessee Children's Hospital. You gotta love a pizza establishment that's community focused, and they are. They've got a magnificent pizza for less than $10. You put the pepperoni on it, or maybe you want something a little extra. Maybe the deluxe has your name called on it. It's the Italian sausage, the mushrooms, green peppers. You get the original sauce and the signature 3 cheeses, onions, the whole 9 yards. And there's also all meat. There's also the garden variety. But you pick out your favorite pizza, Marcos.com. They will take care of you. By the way, you can see the entire state, it would appear, is now under some kind of watch or warning. In places like Memphis and Jackson, under a winter storm warning. Now, at this time last night, those areas were under the watch and we were not. So is it reasonable to assume that by tomorrow we're going to be in the pink? We'll be in a winter storm warning because the watch will likely expire and they're going to upgrade us. I mean, it's like an upgrade, like on an airline? No, it's not that kind of upgrade. It's an upgrade like it's more imminent. Because once we get into Thursday afternoon, we'll be bracing for what's coming in on Friday. So be prepared for some wintry weather that will include more than just snow. It's going to include a mix. Nobody told me that. Yours truly did. Remember I said it's better to not be first, but it's better to be right? And I said if we get a mix, then those lofty snow totals would come down. And that's the way things are shaping up. Nobody's talking about 8, 7, or 6, much more. Most of us are down like 3, 2, maybe 5. In some cases, we're going to look at all that when I show you my forecast here in a moment. But the big picture shows a great area of real estate that has winter concerns from Oklahoma to Texas, Arkansas, and into northern Mississippi. This is a far-reaching storm that needs to be respected. By the way, January, we've now picked up 1.09 inches of rain and melted snow. A trace of snow today doesn't count into the bucket. But the bright sunshine is the headline for tomorrow. Snow with a mix starts midday Friday. Some would say it starts in the morning. And if the snow part doesn't start in the afternoon, there could be a mix that starts late morning. So I would be in your safe place, as it were, wherever you're going to be for the storm. I want to be there by 11 o'clock in the morning. I think it's a midday roll in, and it's going to stay with us for the whole afternoon and night with snow in a mix. Did you say mix? Yeah, I did. Friday night, there's going to be some mixing too, and it will come down in intervals. So it could be snowing in your community while it's mixing in another community. because Mother Nature, she can chew gum and walk at the same time. She can produce snowflakes here and a mix of freezing rain, sleet here at the same time. She's very, very apt at that, and that's what I'm expecting to find. But the snow showers on its exit, because it gets colder aloft as it pulls away, snow showers will be on the exit by 7 a.m. Saturday, if not before. So lo and behold, here's what I expect. Now notice I issued this at 3:50. I didn't see it at 3:50. No, that was just for my premium members. You want to join us on premium, you get an inside scoop. I'm showing you this forecast because it's important that you be prepared for what's coming Friday into Saturday. I did say 2 to 5. Yesterday I said a minimum of 3 for much of the valley. I still hold on to that. But there will be pockets where you say, nah, I only got 2. Or I only got 2.5 because it mixed in with sleet. Or, hey, it mixed in with freezing rain. Boo. So if you hear the story that it's just snow, run the other direction. Because it's not going to be just snow. Are you sure about that, Captain? Oh, yes, I am. You want some evidence? Let me show you. Let me show you now. Granted, the snow potential map I showed you yesterday falls in line with my forecast. What I'm showing you now is just a representation of one of the many models that you could access online. And you say, well, how many models are there? I don't know. How many breakfast cereals are at the supermarket? Quite a few. You could take a few cornflakes, a few frosted flakes, and throw it all in the same bucket and say, this is my complete breakfast. This is your complete forecast. Some would say, well, we're getting 3.9 or we're getting 2.8 in Kingston. All of this is just hogwash. If you're getting mixing, you're getting significant sleet, you're getting mixed in with freezing rain, it's boo. This is not what I thought I was getting. So I don't want to sell you a lofty high number in snow totals because it's not just a snow event. It's a mix. Need some evidence? Where do you see orange? Well, I see quite a bit of orange. That means there's going to be some mixing, and this will put a little bit of a kibosh on the snow accumulation. And it's also going to make the roads a lot worse. Because either way, when you get all snow, which is probably unlikely, you'll get a mix. And if you get the mix, you're going to have an extra layer of ice underfoot. That's no fun. And you look at the freezing rain accumulation. This is the accumulated part, right? This is still a model, still trying to decipher. It's still trying to figure it out. It's doing its best job with the data it has today. But it will likely recalibrate. It'll buffer and figure this out again tomorrow. And we're going to revisit this again tomorrow. Timing is an issue, but the devil's in the details. I said that yesterday. And it's not better to be first to say, we're getting 6 or 7. Well, maybe not. More likely, it's probably going to be more like 2, 3, or 4, maybe some isolated 5s. The Weather Service did put out the quotation marks here. Heavy snow with what? Mix. You mean the Weather Service thinks it's going to mix too? Yes, they do. Ding, 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 ding. But they are making themselves a little available. They say 2 to 4. So all of you are going to do is put 2 to 4 in your pocket. I heard 2 to 4 inches of snow, maybe up to 6. They did say up to 6, but that's probably more the Smokies. So my issue isn't the fact that we're getting a storm. It's the fact that it's not going to be clear cut. Does that make sense? And when you throw in a mix with the snow that's also maybe in the middle points, you're going to get intervals of both. It's not like this starts here and then by 4 o'clock it's this. It's going to be a hodgepodge. Many of you remember, if you remember the 8.5 we had in Knoxville back in last January, there was a big complaint in Newport, Cosby, some areas around Parrotsville that said, we're getting a mix. We're not getting 8.5. They got a much smaller total. Ask the folks of Cock County if I'm right, because many of them didn't get 8.5 inches. So they got more mix. So they were like, I only got 4. Or I only got 5. It's that type of situation. Your amounts will be reduced significantly. Now, some of you have had the joy of flurries today, if you're on Team Snow. Some of you have had the joy of just persistent flakes today. But tomorrow, it should be bright and sunny from start to finish. And the reason for that is the big blue H. As the winds rotate clockwise around that high, that's what, representative of noon tomorrow, it'll be parked over Memphis. And we're going to have lots of sunshine on the east side of that high, and you'll enjoy a bright sun-filled day. So don't leave the sunglasses at home. You'll want them tomorrow. But it stays cold because tomorrow we'll be lucky to hit 34. Now here's where I differ. The timing from the south and west may be much slower. I still think it's a midday start. So by the time we get to 11 a.m., I hope that you'll be in your place that you want to be. But there's no disputing the pink you see in Huntsville and the pink you see in Atlanta. It's not one precipitation. It's not one P type. It's not just snow. It's going to be a hodgepodge of both. And so when it mixes, it will put a kibosh on the snow totals, and some of them might get washed away if it's a good swath of freezing rain or sleet. So keep in mind, this is going to make it worse, in my view. It's not going to make it better. I think it'd be perfect in a perfect world if it was just snow, and there will be other opportunities this winter where it is just snow. But in this case, because of the track, because of the temperature, because of the timing, I think we're going to be looking at this by 5 o'clock on Friday, and it's very, very messy because you can clearly see there's a pink mix even in Knoxville. So it's not just us that are dealing with kind of a hodgepodge. It's mixing in Atlanta, it's mixing around Tellico Plains, Charlotte, and you name it. And most of the snow will continue in places like Charleston, West Virginia, and Roanoke. So once we move into Saturday morning, a lot of it's pulled away. It resembles the horseshoe effect by Saturday where it's mainly Smokies and maybe a few flakes lingering in the plateau. Now, meanwhile, Sunday, another sun-filled day expected. Let's get to your forecast. It's a very cold night tonight. I got a little aggressive with my text. It fell off the box there, but hopefully you'll forgive me. Evening clouds and stray flakes will give way to clearing skies tonight, so we don't have far to fall to get into the mid to upper teens, because I think tonight we're down to about 16 in Knoxville, 16 for Carnes, Farragut, Hardin Valley, 15 for Maryville, 15 for Seymour, and about 14 for Morristown, Jefferson City, and Dandridge. Now tomorrow, yes, Thursday's going to be bright sun, but still cold. We'll be struggling to get to 34, and high temperatures in Oneida, only 32. 32 Morristown, 37 for our friends down in Tellico Plains, Monroe County by tomorrow afternoon. Let's take a look at your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. 33 Friday, 24. So the clouds roll in. I really think it's a midday start. Again, if I think I need to change that, I'll notify you tomorrow. But right now, I would hunker down for about a 10:30 or 11 start, as it's going to be coming in from Crossville. It's going to be coming in from Spring City. It's coming in from the south and west. So it's a west to east type of rolling start. My NASCAR fans understand a rolling start. That's what I'm saying. It's going to roll in, and once it's here, it's going to turn into every precipitation type you can imagine. That's my fear. 33 on Saturday, 35 on Sunday. And yes, there may be some mountain flakes, persistent or nuisance flakes on Monday night, Tuesday morning, before some light snow showers arrive next Wednesday. So we'll keep an eye on that. By the way, if you haven't joined us on YouTube, it's a platform that gets similar information. Go to youtube.com/@CaptainAccurate. It is absolutely free. What's also absolutely free is our friend Pete Michaels. He's on the app. The Captain Accurate Weather app, has all the National Weather Service alerts, plus the 3 extras from Barron, plus lightning alerts, and you get Pete Michaels traffic. I mean, this man's been flying around in an airplane since the 1970s. He knows this market like nobody else, all right? He is the premier traffic guy in this town. You definitely want to grab the app so that you can have weather and traffic that's perfect together. And if you want something extra, join us on Premium on Facebook. You get a lot more intel. You get it a lot faster. And if it's important to you, you don't want to be second-guessing the weather, because it's going to change again tomorrow. How do I know? Because it changed from last night, right? I said, I'm a little suspicious. I don't want to go all in on the snow because I think there's going to be some mixing. Go back and watch yesterday's video, last night's video. I said that very thing. And here we are. We're now at a point where, well, maybe it's not 3 to 7, which is what the conventional thinking was. I think it's probably 2 to 5, and 5 might be generous. It might be 2 to 3 for most. With that mixing, I think it's Epsom salt. It's a lot of sleet. It's a lot of everything. So be prepared for a bumpy ride. So buckle your seatbelt. Well, my name is David Aldridge. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.